Imagine a side getting promoted to the Premier League with the lowest ever points tally, and then they went on to win that prestigious title in their first attempt, and then extending that glory to the Continental Championship, winning it not once but twice, with a couple of other domestic silverwares. Sounds too impractical, right? But it actually happened in the late 1970s when Nottingham Forest under Brian Clough and Peter Taylor not just conquered English football but went on an unbeaten streak of 42 games, a record which was broken 24 years later by the invincible Arsenal. It all started when ex-Borough and Sunderland centre forward turned manager Brian Clough was sacked by Leeds United only after 44 days of appointment, a team Clough previously had described as cheater and unfair. A former Division 1 winner with Derby County, Clough's stock was at an all-time low when a reporter asked him who will touch him with a barge pole.
You're going to be in a very difficult situation because after the argument with Derby, you left Brighton under a cloud, and now this with Leeds. Who's going to touch you with a barge pole, as it were?
But Nottingham Forest did. Despite being one of the oldest clubs in England, the Midlands outfit had failed to achieve a huge amount of success before Clough's arrival, generally fitting between the first and second divisions and claiming only 2 FA Cups in their previous 97 years of existence. And when Clough came in 6 January 1975, they were 13th in the previous old division. They finished 16th that season, 5 points of the relegation zone. Next season, they finished 8th. But after the arrival of Peter Taylor, Clough's longtime assistant at Derby and Brighton, on 16 July 1976, everything started changing. The duo changed the fortune of a team which was desperate. Players like John Robertson, Woodcock, Viv Anderson and John McGrovern were not utilized properly. Clough made them inevitable part of his squad. Other few tweaks like signing Gary Bartles and Kenny Barnes from non-league football and paying huge fortunes for the likes of Peter Shilton and Trevor Francis proved to be fruitful in the long run. The result came quickly. Nottingham qualified for the top division in 1976-77 with 52 points, and they were off to a flying start in the 1977-78 English First Division, winning all of their first 3 games. But nobody in their wildest dream thought of winning the tournament that year, and after losing 3-0 to Arsenal in their 4th match, everyone thought the bubble will burst soon. Later it was clear that the bubble was made up of more than water and soap, as they would lose only 2 more en route to win the league, conceding only 24 in 42 games, setting up a record of 42 games unbeaten across 2 seasons. But surprisingly, this incredible heroics didn't get the praise it deserved. Only noteworthy mention it got when the invincible Arsenal broke it 1 month after Clough's death. That season, Nottingham won the domestic double after beating Liverpool in the League Cup replay. Clough became only the 3rd manager to win the English Championship with 2 different outfits. In the 1978-79 European Cup first round, they were drawn against Liverpool. A poll of other first division managers resulted in favouring 17-3 for the Merseyside Giants. Clough's men won 2-0 at the City Ground.
And a superb goal from Barrett. That was as good as Forest are likely to get all season.
And a Shilton heroic at the Anfield made sure of their promotion to the next round, where they thrashed AEK Athens 7-2 on aggregate. In the quarterfinals, they steamrolled the Grasshoppers of Zurich 5-2 over 2 legs. The City Ground witnessed an emotional rollercoaster in the semi-final against FC Köln when the German Giants went 2-0 up in the opening minutes, only for them to come back 3-2 in the second half.
Voici le but de Bauer, l'égalisation. Une tête plongeante de Robertson.
A rare mistake from Shilton allowed the visitors to equalize at the dying minute of the game. But an Ian Bauer winner in the second leg led Forest to a final against Malmo in Munich's Olympia Stadium, and a sweet-scented night when Francis, the first £1 million footballer in the history, justified every penny, with scoring the header. Around 200,000 fans came to Nottingham city centre for the ceremony, with some of them holding a banner, "Clough's bionic bubble will never burst." In the 1979-80, they beat Barcelona 2-1 in the European Super Cup on aggregate, where after the second leg, about 50 Barcelona fans came to applaud the team on their exit from the Camp Nou. Then they reached the final of the UEFA European Cup once again, and it was their turn to achieve a rare feat, successfully defending the European Cup, which was previously done by the likes of Real Madrid, Liverpool, etc. But after a lackluster performance in the domestic season, where they had lost both the cup ties and finished 5th in the league, nobody in the British media gave them a chance. Rather, they were busy with the English captain and Hamburg starman Kevin Keegan, who played a crucial role in beating Real Madrid 5-1 in the semi-final. But Forest had their own problems. An Achilles injury to Trevor Francis and rift with Stan Bowles meant that Clough had to travel to Madrid with 14 men, one less than the regular size. In the 20th minute, John Robertson took the rest, Shilton saved a couple, and the post rescued one. With the final whistle, it was written in the history that a team from Nottingham has done the miracle which is still did.
Remain the only club to win the European Cup more times than they've won their own league.
You win something once and people say it is all down to luck, reflected Brian Clough after Nottingham Forest had successfully defended the European Cup on May 28, 1980. You win it twice and it shuts the buggers up. Clough wanted to build upon their success, but financial difficulties forced them to sell the likes of Shilton, Gary Bartles, Francis and Lloyd. Their replacements were not good enough. Soon the partnership of Clough and Taylor was broken, and Taylor resigned in 1982, citing lack of commitment. In the late 1980s, Clough once again built an exciting team consisting his son Nigel, Stuart Pearce and Des Walker, which won back-to-back League Cups in 1989 and 1990. However, the side slowly settled in. Alcoholism was taking control over the legendary manager. Things became so bad in 1992 that a couple of other players, led by his son Nigel, asked Clough to step down. That season, the Premier League was launched, changing the fortune of the English football forever.
Live, only on Sky. For information on how to view Sky Sports, contact your satellite dealer or cable operator.
But Forest, however, had their fortune go straight downwards. Selling Des Walker and Teddy Sheringham had already weakened the team. Stuart Pearce's long-term injury and Roy Keane's contract fiasco made their downfall inevitable. On 1st May 1993, a 2-0 defeat to Sheffield United secured their relegation.
That might be the final nail in the Forest coffin.
And Brian Clough, after winning 1 Premier League, 4 League Cups, 2 UEFA European Cups and 1 UEFA Super Cup, announced his retirement from management. When asked about his planning after retirement, he said, "I'm going to walk around and look after my grandchildren. I might even come to a football match actually."
I'm a football league manager by trade. That's my trade. Alright? I do it well, I do it good. It could be argued I'm the best in the business.
A member of the European Cup winning squad, Frank Clark, took the charge and immediately brought them back to the Premier League in the first attempt. That season, they finished third, almost repeating Clough's heroics. But the success didn't last long. Players like Stan Collymore, Stuart Pearce were sold, which resulted in relegation once again in 1999. Since then, the darkest chapter in their history started. Between 1999 and 2022, Forest saw a barren stretch of 22 years without top-flight football. In 2005, they became the only European champion ever to be relegated in the third tier. In 2012, after the death of long-time owner Nigel Doughty, Fawaz Al-Hassai of Kuwait took over with lots of promises, only to turn the club into a complete disaster. Those 5 years saw 7 managers taking the charge, only for the club to finish in lower positions each year.
vicious. It's Nottingham Forest starting again.
Only in 2022, under Steve Cooper, Forest has won the championship playoff and they will be playing the upcoming season.
Every single Reds fan has...
I would assume everybody likes to do their job nicely, honourably and well.
Everybody in the East Midlands knows what Clough had accomplished could never be repeated, but it was not done before him either. That's what makes these rags to riches stories so special. As John McGovern once said, all of a sudden, Nottingham didn't just have Robin Hood. We had Robin Hood, Brian Clough, and Nottingham Forest.